Youth sports is in a crisis right now, and here are the problems. What is good, y'all? My name is Kevin Parrington Turner, and I am back with another video, and I'm going to talk about youth sports and the problems with it today. Now, I covered youth sports for the past 4 seasons. It's starting to blur together the older I get. I know I'm getting kind of old, but nonetheless, I started to notice a lot of things that's going wrong with sports from when I played basketball as a kid, from middle school, from elementary school to high school. It's a lot different. It's a lot of issues, a lot good, a lot bad. And I'm here to explain the bad sides about it. The first one is adults are profiting off of kids. Now, has that always been a thing? Yes, of course. I remember in high school watching 2 of the best high schools in the nation play against each other on ESPNU. But it's nearly like every high school now. It's not just reserved for the top teams at all anymore. Now you got showcases, you got AAU trainers, and you got everything happening. And now why, you ask? Well, in the NBA, MLB, NFL, they're starting to have their own media. You know, they're starting to have their own reporters, their own podcasts, their own YouTube channels, their own websites that they're going heavy on. So you see less legacy papers. I mean, shoot, look at The Athletic, and they're taking over papers, and now it's just less reporters. So what does that mean? It's trickling down more into the high school level, and more people are profiting off it. You know, more showcases, people are selling tickets, people are making broadcast contracts, and more deals are being made. And obviously the players have no knowledge about it. They just want more exposure so they can get into college. So profiting is the biggest one. It's not even a question. And with that, it trickles down to so many other issues that I'm going to touch on now. Now, when it comes to profiting, there's a lot more issues that come with that trickle down. And one of them being, well, when it comes to team sports, it's more about individualism than it is team sports. You know, these high school kids and these little kids know that they are a brand. I can't tell you how many times this past football season, high school football, that I'm interviewing a kid and I look to my right and I just see a kid with a camera on me interviewing the kid for his own YouTube page and, you know, his own journey, his own vlog, and his scholarship chasing. You know, I'm not mad at it. I respect it, you know, and I hope that he's able to get those places, or she's able to get where she wants to go. But it's become a lot more about individualism. I can't tell you how many times parents tag me for their kids' stat line, or, you know, clipping up highlights because they want to get noticed by coaches because now it's on social media. So they tag here and there. I'm not mad at it. You know, you got to hustle. But when it comes to these team sports, what I notice a lot is it's a lot about individualism. You know, it's a lot about getting your stats. And that's always been a thing for years. But now with social media, it's become such more about the stat line. You'll see a kid who drops 4 points, but you better believe that highlight tape is going to look amazing. You better believe his YouTube page is going to look amazing. I'm not mad at it, but that's just another way youth sports has changed. This one is a little different, and it's the dark side of youth sports. And that is the branch. That is the point I'm making. I'm not going to get too specific, but there is a dark side of youth sports. You know, one of them being mental health, especially for these kids. There's been a couple of times this season, you know, I just see a kid not on the team anymore. You know, you ask the coach, he'll give you a weird answer. And you ask some reporters, you ask some parents, and they'll tell you, they just didn't want to do it. They was dealing with a lot. You know, they wanted to focus on something. They was going through something. We're all going through something. But with social media and kids hyping you up, the highlights tapes, you know, the list that gets put out, and I'm telling you now too. I mean, I make lists as a reporter. You know, do first team, second team. I probably contribute to it some way as well. I don't want to. I hope not. I do. I hope I don't. But yeah, mental pressure. It's added a lot on youth sports. And also, surprisingly, when it comes to parents, I've seen it a lot more often in, you know, the schools with a lot more money into the sports programs. But you see parents fighting. You see parents arguing. Why? Well, if you spend a lot of money for your kid and they're not starting, you're going to let the coach know. And I've seen a couple of coaches in different states, multiple states. I've seen coaches at these private schools quit, randomly quit, some of them mid-season, because they just couldn't take it from the parents. And they'll let you know. They'll let you know. So yeah, Youth sports has changed not just for the kids, but for the coaches and for the parents and for, the athletic director, the program director, everyone. And last but not least, this one kind of touches on all the other points I made before this, but it's starting younger and younger. And it's not going to change. With NIL now and players being able to get paid from college, and I cover college sports now, and I talk to coaches and they talk about it as well. It's changed a lot. Kids are starting younger. It's more competitive now because now there's money involved. So a lot of parents who have more resources, they're putting a lot of resources in for their kid to get better, whether it's camps, trainers, AAU, travel teams, private schools, prep schools. And guess what? Now they got sports academies. Yes, sports academies. That is not the same as a regular public school, a private school, a prep school. These kids are going to a different state to just really focus on one sport instead of playing 3 sports, instead of just having fun with their friends and going to public schools. And that's why it ties into the mental health. It ties into a lot of other things that I touched on in this video. It's just going younger and younger. I mean, we don't even look at the Little League World Series like that. It's because it's been around for so long, but that's just another way, It's during the summer, and whoever wins it, they get so much publicity. They get a parade for them. Youth sports is changing, man. If you want to know the answers to it, I got them, but I'm not going to say them in this video. Let me know what y'all think. Please like, subscribe, and share. I appreciate y'all. My name is Kevin Parrington Turner. I am a sports reporter. Check out my stories on the app.com. Check out the Substack. Check out my TikTok, everything. If y'all want more, let me know. Let me know what you think in the comments as well. Peace.